How's it going?
Cool. I'm living life.
You're living life. Fantastic. Congratulations on the film.
Thanks
I
so
watched
much.
it this morning. It's so lovely.
good.
It's so
I'm happy you
wonderful.
saw it. Yeah,
Tell me about being part of this one because it's so sweet and so wonderful.
Yeah, it's just a dream come true. I've been a fan of this studio for so long, and a fan of Nora's, and it's one of those projects where if it happens to come your way in some capacity, you take it. And working with Nora is just a no-brainer. And it was more than I ever could have possibly imagined. It was my first voiceover project that I think. It was my first big voiceover role, and it was much more of a challenge than I think I ever thought it would be. And I'm just happy with the way it turned out, and I'm really stoked for people to see it. And I mean, we filmed it so long ago. We filmed it pre-pandemic, so the fact that they were able to get this done throughout everything going on is just wonderful.
How much fun was it to play Boris? Because he's such a wonderful character, and he gets to go on such a great journey in this one.
It's wonderful, yeah. The character is incredible, and he's special. It's very unique and quite different from what I've done before, and just quite the honor. Doing it with Jacob is just incredible, and when I found out he was on board, it was an absolute no-brainer. Everything in this project just fell together to an extent in which it was just. There was no way I wasn't gonna do it when it came my way, and it's just I'm so happy that I ended up getting to do it, especially playing this part.
Yeah, you're in a show that's obviously about a lot of big friendships, and this one has a similar one.
Yeah.
How delighted were you when you saw it for the first time that friendship really comes across in the film?
It's great. I mean, I think because we were able to record together, that really did help develop our characters quite nicely and quickly, which doesn't usually happen. Usually with voiceover, you're filming most of your stuff on your own, and Nora came to the conclusion it might be best because we got along so well for us to do that in the same room at the same time, and I think it shows. You know, I think this story is not just about friendship, but really about brotherhood and about the growth that people really provide for you. You know, it's hard to grow on your own, especially when you're young, and the best way to get through hard times is through people that you love, and that's really what this is about, and it's how this movie was made. It's how best this movie is watched is with people you love.
Yeah. And just finally, I wanted to ask you about the ending of Stranger Things, not to give anything away, but when you read the final couple of pages of the end of season 4, what was your reaction?
I was satisfied. It had taken so long up to that point, and by the time we had gotten the last few episodes, we were already well into filming, and so big old sigh of relief that we were finally getting through to it. It had been so many years since we had released the third one, and I just look forward to whatever they come up with next.
Yeah, people have seemed to have taken to Dusty and Eddie. That seems to be such a big thing.
And I'm happy they did. Joe worked so hard in making sure that role was pitch perfect, which is really hard to do. It's hard to introduce new characters, especially so deep into the run of a show, and people to really enjoy it, especially when it kind of plays with pulling apart a dynamic between Dustin and Steve that was already so established. I didn't know if people were going to take to it well, and I think it's because of Joe's performance and the care and craft that Matt and Ross both put into it that it just worked out really well.
Yeah, and this film's part of the Netflix family. What would you say to people, because it's going to be around the world and people are going to see it who might not have got to see it before?
Yeah, which is great. I think that's the best part about streaming nowadays, is that genuinely people just have access to such a wide plethora of work, and it's incredible to see that studios like Cartoon Saloon are having the opportunities to have their work put out on platforms that people are going to be able to see it. It's great.
We wish you all the best. Thanks so much for your time. Pleasure. Cheers. Cheers. Nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey,